As I told you earlier in this website, I was born with a fishing pole in one hand and a gun in another. I've grown up hunting and fishing all of my life. It all started out when I was so small I had to ride on my dad's back, piggyback, whenever we went fishing just for safety purposes. The first time I ever got my name or picture in the paper in Boise, Idaho was on the 8th day of June 1950, 66 years ago. I won the Optimus Club Fish Derby. I couldn't compete because I was only 5 years old. However, I caught the biggest fish, an 11.5-inch catfish, holding it right there in this picture. I was proud of that fish. I couldn't win the fishing trip to Canada because of my age, but they gave me a fishing reel and some fly line and my picture in the paper. Lots and lots has gone on since that picture was taken. I just want to show you what it said. A small lad with a big fish. David Ross Severn, 5-year-old angler of 2407 Reagan Avenue, Boise, was too young to enter the fish derby sponsored by the Boise Optimus Club. But he decided to try his luck anyway at Julia Davis Park. He caught and landed this 11.5-inch catfish. Officials of the Derby decided David ought to have a prize even if he was too young to compete with the 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. In the photo, David holds his prize and fish. That lagoon where I caught that fish is still in existence. I was standing right next to a lava rock fireplace, and I caught the fish just behind these people right down in a special hole. I used to ride my bike down here and fish in this lagoon all the time. Well, why don't we slip down to that lagoon, to the very place where I was standing 66 years ago when that picture was in fact taken. I'd like to see what it looks like once again. Yeah, I think it was right about here. I was standing at age 5, 65 years ago. I had a great big catfish in my right hand, a trusty fishing pole in my left, can of worms on the ground, and in my hand I had a fishing line, a reel of fishing line, and a reel, fishing reel, right in front of this very fireplace. The year was 1950. Strange things happened in 1950, 51, and 52. In that fishing derby, I won each year. I caught the most and the biggest fish. The trouble was I wasn't old enough to be given the major grand prizes. You had to be at least a 6th grader, and I was only in the 4th or 5th grade as I recall. But I won. Now how did that happen? Well, I came down here every weekend and every night after school that I could ride my bike, and I found out where the fish are. I fished and fished and fished and fished. I put in time, I prepared myself, I studied, I discovered from experience where's the best place to fish. The catfish was caught at a big hole right up this side. The following year there's an inlet where another feeder creek comes into this lagoon, and I caught the grand prize, a trip to Canada for 2, but I was too young to accept it. I got a fishing line and another fishing reel. And then the next year I caught a 24-inch carp. The big trout I caught was a rainbow trout. So I went from catfish to rainbow trout to a carp, 24 inches long. All that was perseverance preparation. I learned from a small kid how to never give up. I learned from a youth, because of my father and the power he had in my life, to learn how to do something well, to learn how to catch fish. This is a special place in my memory because it's as real today as it was when it happened 65 years ago. Do you know where you're going? Do you have a planned purpose for your life? Well, God has one for you. It's up to you to discover it. Now, I will tell you that if you plan to be successful, you gotta know where you're going. You gotta know how you're gonna get there. And you have to resolve before you start the journey that you're gonna do whatever it takes to get the job done. Successful people don't try to succeed. They plan and then perform to succeed. It's a done deal before the journey begins in their own mind. 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, I remember. Some of my friends must still be here. I remember coming to the fish derby, and I planned to catch the biggest fish every year. I never once came to this place and hoped I'd catch something. I knew I would. But it wasn't just a fish. I wanted to catch the champion fish. That was drilled in me from a youth. All through my teenage years and into adulthood and now into senior citizen. You're no different than me. God gave you the same thing He gave me, but you've got to develop what He gave you. He will not do that for you. I tell you, once you learn to do something well and learn to love it, you'll never have to work another day for the rest of your life. It's known as a labor of love. And when you have it in you, deep down in your own heart, seated in your own mind, nobody can take it from you. And that's what gives you the perseverance to continue to march until you get to the end of your journey to success. The road's open. You see, there's not a whole lot of other fishermen here today, so to speak. Let's go wet a line. Let's go give a try. Let's go become successful together. Because I know you're well able. I love you, and I expect to see you at the top. Peace and love to all of you. Papa Bear.